what does Portland actually look to do? Because they're not looking to miss the playoffs again. Not when you re-sign Dame, not when you re-sign Nurkic. The question is, does Portland have enough? One, to make the playoffs, and two, enough to compete in the West.
This is all hinging on health. If they're healthy, if Damian Lillard is healthy, he will alone deliver you 39 wins at least.
I agree.
Vegas odds have them at 40 and a half.
40 and a half.
So I think with Damian Lillard, if he's healthy, at least 39, and then it's those other couple wins, I think that they have the roster, if they're healthy, to bring you up to mid-40s, which bring you into the playoffs. Which seed that is, I don't know. It's always tough to tell in the West what that'll bring you. But I do think if they're healthy, they are a playoff team. With their starting five that we mentioned, their roster construction makes sense. It makes sense. They surrounded Nurkic with a bunch of shooters. Obviously, Damian Lillard with guys that, once he draws the attention to, hit open jump shots, can carry a little bit of load for themselves. Jeremy Grant and Josh Hart and Anthony Simons. I like the roster construction. I like their starting five. The only thing is, let's stay healthy.
Yeah, health is going to be a huge factor because if Nurkic goes down, it looks like Eubanks is the guy who's going to fill into that role.
Oh, boy.
And you think, too, because there's a lot of good centers in the Western Conference, that is a question mark. So health is a great thing to bring up. And then, of course, is how are we going to mold these new guys into the Portland system? Jeremy Grant, of course, being the first one you think of. How are him and Dame really going to mold into this offense together? Because truthfully, I think the best case scenario, if you're a Portland fan, is 5th in the West. I think they can climb as high as 5th in the West, and that is on the back of Damian Lillard. He is a superstar. He is one of the best, if not the best point guard in the NBA right now. You have to be able to believe that Portland is able to get to 5th in the West because I think they have the chance of being a top 5, even a top 3 offense in the West because of their backcourt and having Jeremy Grant. But that kind of goes into that mold, of course, of staying healthy. Because if they're not able to do that, Portland is going to have a world of issues. So that's kind of that outlook. And then on top of that, because we talk about their offense, we talk about health, it's what is everyone else around them doing? And so that's going to be one of the key factors as well. Portland is a good basketball team, and there should be no question about that. It's just how good the Wild Wild West is. And everyone, it feels like, has picked up pieces. Even Sacramento just ahead of them. LA, if they are healthy, what does that look like? Minnesota. The New Orleans Pelicans have re-signed Zion and expect him to be healthy.
Kawhi is back. LA is healthy again.
And so that's, I think, going to be the biggest thing if you're a Portland fan. If you see something of, oh man, they only see us as 9th in the West, I don't see that as, oh, Portland is bad. I see that as, wow, the West has 10 teams that are all vying for those top 6 spots, and it just feels like everyone is getting healthier or just getting a whole lot stronger.
Yeah, if the league is all healthy, there's no way. I'm sorry, Portland fans. There's no way you're jumping up to 5 with the Western Conference. Now, anything can happen. There's always stuff that goes down. Every year, there's going to be a player that goes down or two on these top teams in the West, and Portland could be the team that climbs. Could happen. If people are healthy, there's no way that's happening.
It's going to be very difficult. And that is just solely because of what we're seeing around them. I mean, Luka gets Christian Wood now on his team. Denver gets healthy. Question marks with Jamal Murray, of course, and MPJ. What does their health actually look like? So that's a team to look at. Utah and San Antonio, those are 2 teams Portland should jump over in a heartbeat. Just the easiest jump. But everyone else in the West, I mean, Phoenix gets DeAndre Ayton back. And that felt like that domino fell and he goes to Indiana. Okay, this is a different conversation.
Yeah.
But if you're a Portland fan, just find a way to get into the playoffs because we've seen teams in the playoffs, things change.
They got Damian Lillard.
They
In the
have
playoffs, anything can happen if you have Damian Lillard on your team.
Completely agree. And that's where you need to find a way. You find a way to get into the playoffs, then you know what?
Which, if they're healthy, they're going to do.
Yes.
Damian Lillard is going to deliver you to the playoffs.
I think that 40 and a half Vegas game, if Dame Lillard stays healthy, Portland is hitting that over. I would.
Yep.
I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I would put a large sum of money on.
How much money?
I put about $42 on that. So
Big pockets.
Yeah, I know. I'm willing to spend. I'm a big spender. But I think that's important to understand if you're Portland. Don't look at it as, man, they don't think we're good. No. You guys have what could be a really good starting five. It's just, holy cow, the Western Conference is stacked. So with that, we're kind of concluding this episode of the Portland Trailblazers and kind of this journey across the Western Conference and across the NBA for small and mid-market teams. So for producer Andy, Trevor Mickulin, my name is Scott Harris. We say so long for now, and we will see you next week.
Anthony Simons time. Hey, thanks for watching. Before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're the only NBA show focused on covering your favorite small market teams. Find us on all social media platforms at Small Ball Podcast.